Hi everyone and welcome back to Stitches Past 5. My name is Vera and today I'm going to share some of my favorite Christmas decor pattern that I found online. Some of them I've made, some of them I haven't made, because yeah, Christmas is coming closer and what better way to prepare than to knit little ornaments or just little like decorations, or some of these have function, some of these don't have function. I have 20 patterns to share with you today, and I'm actually gonna make, I've created a Ravelry folder that I'm gonna link down below that you can just access and have all the patterns at a glance, as well as all like the sources where they come from and so on. I'm gonna share gauge where it's appropriate, because some of these are like little ornaments where gauge isn't really the most important thing, so I'm not gonna talk about gauge for like all of these patterns. And yeah, so I've got 20 patterns, so let's get started. Okay, so the first one is called the Basic Christmas Stocking, and I mean there's so many stocking patterns out there. I've just kind of picked one that's pretty simple. I think knitting your own Christmas stockings is like super nice if you're in the culture of stockings. Not everywhere or everyone celebrates Christmas with stockings, but I think it can be a really cute addition. If you make a large one, you can even stuff it and you can make ones with initials on them for different people. And if you make small ones, you can make it into a really cute garland. But these ones are the Basic Christmas Stockings. The designer is Church Mouse Yarns and Tees, and it is a little bit of a pricey pattern, so I would say like if you're not willing to spend a lot of money on it, this one is $9.90, so just under 10 euros. Maybe go look for a free pattern. I picked this one because it just does look very chic and like I think it just looks good, so maybe the price would be worth it. Yeah, and this one is a knitted pattern. It's been around forever, this pattern. It has a bunch of projects listed on it on Ravelry. I have not knitted stockings before, but I have crocheted stockings for Christmas and even given it to others as gifts, and it is a really nice gift, especially if you put their initials on them or something like that. Yeah, so this pattern comes in various sizes, but again, I think with stockings you can make them whatever size you want, and that's kind of the fun about them as well, right? And yeah, it can be bought directly on Ravelry or also on the pattern's website. Next, like I said, it would be really cute to make little stockings on a garland, and this is your pattern to do that. This one is a free pattern and it is called the Mini Christmas Stocking Ornaments. They're these cute tiny little socks. I guess they're like baby socks, but then you just like attach a little string to them, and they're with different color works of like a tree or snowflakes or stars or something, and then you can attach them all to a garland or not, or just hang them around your house. I think that would be super cute. The designer of this pattern is Julie Williams, and like I said, it is a free pattern available for download on Ravelry. So the next pattern is maybe the most functional of them all. It is called the number 15 Peppermint Place Mat, and the designer is Julie H. Rose. So this is a felted placemat. If you've never worked on something felted before, like don't be scared of it. It's pretty simple. Usually it just involves you knitting something and throwing it in the washing machine, or also hand felting it if that's what the yarn calls for that you're using. Now note that not every yarn is suitable for felting, so make sure you know that going into the project. This one is just such an effective, like cute little placemat in the colors of a peppermint candy cane, or I guess the little peppermint candies that you get around Christmas. So I think it would be a really cute thing to have at your Christmas table, and then to be able to say that it was handmade is just like the cherry on top. Yeah, so this one was actually first published in a magazine in 2013, so it's also been around for a pretty long time. The next pattern is another garland. It is a Garland Lights, that's the name of the pattern, by Jacqueline Mills. And this one was also published in a magazine. I think we're, you know, diving into the era where like patterns were published in magazines first, I guess. This one was in the Knitting Today magazine in 2010. And yeah, it's essentially this long garland with like all these cute little lights like attached to it. And I think it could be something really cute to like, you know, span across your room, or like attach it to a fireplace or something like that. Yeah, so this again is a pattern where a gauge is not really important, and you could really just probably make it with any scrap yarn that you have lying around. The next pattern is one of my favorites. I think these cute little stars look so elegant, so chic. The pattern is called Stjärna. I guess it's a Nordic language, I'm not sure which one, and the designer is called Carolina Eckerdal. And I think these are so cool. These are so beautiful. They are stuffed. I guess to make these you'll need some polyfill lying around, or I guess you can just use them, stuff them with any like scraps that you have lying around. So this is a free pattern available for download on Ravelry, and I think these could be super cute, like hung across a window where people from the outside can also see the stars. They look like they're worked to perfection in the picture that's provided on the pattern. So if I have time this Christmas, I'll definitely be casting on these cute little stars and maybe make a few of them. My guess is that they are a little bit more difficult. Their difficulty rating on Ravelry isn't too high, but I think if you've never worked something small before, maybe this is a good place to start. It'll be challenging, but yeah, maybe it's a good like transition into making more like amigurumi style or like plushy or like 3D things that are knitted. Usually those things are crocheted, but I think especially the knitting really makes these stars stand out in my opinion. Next we have a pattern that is by myself. I had to include this one because I get comments on this a lot. I have this one, I created this one because my brother owns a pug, so he was like, can you make a pug stress ball? And I was like, ask no more, I will make you one. So this one is my Pug Bauble or stress ball. I have it right here. And it is essentially, it's a crocheted pattern, so I thought I'd put it in here. I know that a lot of knitters also crochet, but it's this cute little pug that can hang on your Christmas tree. And this guy definitely hangs on our Christmas tree come Christmas tree season. Once we get our tree, I always put this one on. Yeah, so it is a pattern by myself. It costs €1 on Ravelry. It's also available at Etsy. And yeah, I made it out of like this plush yarn, but I mean, you could use any yarn. It'll just be like a little bit smaller or yeah, have a different texture depending on which yarn you use. I would say it's a pretty simple pattern. Like it literally is like a ball crocheted with a nose, ears, and eyes on it. And yeah, I think if you have like someone who loves pugs or has a pug themselves at home, or if you have one, I think this is such a fun, like cute little thing that people like. We have this hanging on a tree, and as soon as someone like sees it, they're like kind of like, oh my goodness, there's a pug. So yeah, I thought I would include it here without doing too much self-promo, I guess. The next pattern is also a bauble. It is the Christmas Ball Star of Bethlehem, and it is maybe the contrast to this one. This one is obviously just like a fun little thing, like but they think these ones, these Christmas Ball Star of Bethlehem by Mary Ann Stevens, by the way, are so elegant, so chic. They just look, oh, especially the one with white and gold. There's a few pictures on Ravelry, but like especially the one with white and gold just looks so elegant, so nice. And yeah, this is also a pretty old pattern. It's from 2013. That's not to say that it's a bad pattern, right? So it's nice to see that they're still around and artists are still sharing them and selling them. Although this one is a free pattern, so that's really nice. Yeah, I think this one gauge is a little bit more important. I think this one, if you make it out of too thick of a yarn, it will be like a really big ball. So I guess it's like a sport weight maximum or more like a sock or fingering weight yarn that is used. The next pattern is the Advent Garland 10, which is the candy cane. And this is essentially this cute little candy cane. I guess it's meant to be part of a longer garland, but I picked this candy cane specifically because I think you can hang it anywhere. You can hang it in your tree, you can hang it around your house, you can even hang it on your porch, somewhere in the garden on a tree. I don't know, I think it looks so cool because it's red and white and like your classic striped candy cane. It is knitted. Now, you might think it's crocheted just because of like how it looks in the pattern or in the picture, but it is a knitted pattern. The designer is Frankie Brown, and it is also a free pattern available to download right directly from Ravelry. So love to see that always. Then we have a bigger project. So I live in Austria, and here there's definitely like an advent calendar culture. I think I'm like seeing it kind of transition more into North America as well. So that's kind of fun. And yeah, so this is a cute little advent calendar that you could knit, made out of little mittens with all the numbers like on the hand of the mitten. The mittens I think are quite large, quite small. So I guess it'll be like a small calendar, maybe like for a little treat or a little note or something inside. The pattern is the 23/501 Julevutter Adventskalender by Carrie Hogan. And it is also pretty old pattern from 2010. It is a pattern available for free, and yeah, you can download it right through a link that's provided on Ravelry as well. I think these little gloves are adorable, especially with the numbers. I think this is like one of those projects that you probably have to start latest now to be able to do it for this Christmas, but it will also be a project that once you have it, you will reuse it year after year to fill your advent calendar with whatever you want to put in there. So yeah, super cute, big fan, but maybe a bit of a bigger and longer project. Okay, so now I'm gonna share a few like ornaments or like kind of like things that you can put somewhere to look at, essentially. I don't know what to call this category, but the first one is for all the cat lovers in your life, or yourself included if you are one too, and this is the cat Christmas ornament. These are adorable. They're these cute little like rectangular cats with scarves on them. Oh, they're so cute. And they have a little loop at the top so you can hang them wherever. The designer is Amy Gaines, and they're available on Ravelry for $3.30. You can buy it directly on there. I think these are adorable, especially if you put like a few next to each other. They really kind of come out. But how cute would it be to gift someone a little cat that maybe resembles their own as like a Christmas ornament to put in their tree, or maybe to remember a pet that was once there in the past. Like, what a nice way to kind of like commemorate that's also handmade. Oh, I'm not even the biggest cat person out there, but like I think that's pretty cute. Okay, so on the wavelength of I don't know, ornaments or items, I guess, we have the Christmas Snowman, a pretty simple pattern, or pretty like sleek basic pattern by Rebecca Danger. And yeah, it's a cute little knitted snowman, a 2-ball snowman with a scarf and the red like, or the orange carrot nose, little button eyes. So cute. I guess it's part of like a pattern bundle that includes like a few other like elves and things, but I picked the snowman in particular because I think he's so cute. And this is also a free pattern, which is so lovely to see, and I think maybe a good like way to start practicing your 3D knitted items. But oh, I just like, it makes me want to start and cast it on right here, right now. It's adorable. What more is there to say about a cute little knitted snowman? Then another super cute pattern I found is the Baby Penguin by Claire Garland. This is a British designer, I assume, because it's all in British pounds. It's £2.75, so it's around €3.40, €3.50. It's this cute little knitted penguin. What? Oh, how adorable, with a little jumper even that you can put on him. The gauge here is like suggested as lace, but I guess you could also like use a thicker yarn, but I mean, I guess it's really cute because it's so small. I think you could also probably make it in plushy yarn and have like a larger penguin. Yeah, so this would be one of those things that you don't really have to put away right when Christmas ends, because yeah, I can still look at a penguin in like early March when it's still snowing outside, but I might not want to look at another like Christmas tree or another ornament, right? So I think this is a little bit more yeah, long living decoration that you can knit yourself. Then along that line is the Bluebird of Happiness, another beautiful pattern by the designer Sarah Elizabeth Kilner. It's also a free pattern, and I think that goes into the same category of ornaments or decorative items that you can make that are gonna last ways beyond Christmas, or I think this one even like have your bird up year long, and like, I don't know, you can make them in various colors and hang them next to each other. I think they're so cute, but also something that would definitely fit into a Christmas tree. The next ornament is one that would probably get put away once Christmas is over, and that is the cute little Santa hat, or small Santa hat ornament by Paige Adams. It's also a free pattern, and it's essentially this tiny Santa hat, which is in garter stitch for the white section, and then stockinette stitch for the hat, and with like a tiny little pom-pom at the end. This is adorable. I think if you make them in like really thin yarn, you could even make them into, say, earrings, or if you have it in thicker yarn, it's probably like a wonderful ornament to leave in your tree, or even like things as like a table decoration or something, depending on how many you have time to make. And we have the cozy Christmas trees. I think these have kind of popped up, like the crochet version of these went super viral, I think like last year or 2 years ago, where someone made crochet Christmas trees with a jasmine stitch, I think it was, or was it no, I think it was jasmine stitch. So I think this is kind of like the knitting counterpart to those trees, and the pattern is called Cozy Christmas Trees, and the designer is Cassandra May. This is a little bit of a pricier pattern, I guess, for $6, 60 US, so €6.50. But I think one that's gonna be really cool. I guess it comes in 3 different sizes and like widths, but one that I think would look really beautiful and very sleek as well, placed in a shelf or even at the table center or somewhere where all your Christmas visitors will be able to look at them and admire them. On the subject of trees, I also wanted to pick one that's kind of like an ornament, like a cute little Christmas tree hanging in a tree. And I think this is a really simple pattern, and that's also why I wanted to include it here. It's called Tiny Trees, and the designer is Lily by Sugar and Cream. And these are these cute little tiny Christmas trees, essentially triangles with a little square at the bottom for the stem. It is also a free pattern, and I think also a really good quick thing to kind of like knit up in probably less than an hour, I'm gonna guess, depending on how fast you knit. Then I wanted to include 2 patterns of like cute little, I guess, Christmas elves or Santas. I'm not sure where the line is drawn here, but these are definitely elves. The pattern is called Jolly Wee Elf, and that name is exactly what it looks like at the end. It's just this cute little elf with like a twisted hat top. The pattern designer is Church Mouse Yarns and Tees. It's also an expensive pattern, $9.90, but I think one that if you buy it once and you can make like probably, I don't know, 20 of these elves, like, and give them out to people, it's still worth it. Like, I think it's really cute. It's probably not something that you just make one of because they look so cute next to each other as well. Then my second elf, I guess it's a gnome. Now I know what it is. It's a gnome because it's in the title. So my second pattern of that category is the Here We Gnome Again by Sarah Skyra. And yeah, it's these cute little gnomes, I guess. I think they could also be like Santas. I think if you made them in red yarn, no one would question that it's a Santa. Where you like the typical ones where you don't see the eyes, it's just the nose jutting out and the big beard. This one I think is a little bit more difficult to knit up if you're not used to cabling or like yeah, those intricate changes in stitches. Maybe this is a good starting point. But yeah, I think they're so cute, especially like when they're all standing next to each other. The pattern again is relatively expensive. The pattern is around €7. And yeah, I think one that maybe you'll just make 1 or 2 of because I guess it's a little bit more time intensive. Now I want to share 2 more patterns and then we're already at our 20. And I kind of like wanted to save best for last a little bit maybe. The first one is one that Petite Knit came out with. Like, that's kind of a surprise. Like, are we used to Petite Knit making Christmas ornaments? I'm not sure, but like I'll take it because they're so cute. They're these little like candy or what are they called? Christmas crackers, and they're called Christmas caramels. I guess it's meant to be like a candy, not the Christmas crackers, although they look more like Christmas crackers in my opinion. Looks pretty simple to make. Like the difficulty rating is like a little bit higher, but it doesn't have that many ratings yet. But I think they're pretty simple to make. Super cute with the stripes. It is a free pattern. Thank you, Petite Knit. Oh my goodness. So I think that could be a really fun one. I think they're made on sock needles, which I think most people have at home as well. And you could totally use any scrap yarn you have to make these cute little Christmas caramels. And then the last pattern is the Knitted Lights, and I think this one you obviously don't need a pattern for, but I really enjoyed that this designer, which is Layla Raven, put this on Ravelry, because otherwise I think not many people would have that idea. And it's like a light garland, or like a string of lights knitted up. Like, that's so cool. I think if you have a longer one as well, you could even make like a table centerpiece or something. Like, what a cool idea. Love to see it. I mean, it's a free pattern. You're knitting a square, you're knitting a rectangle, right? I don't think you even need the pattern, but what a cool piece of inspiration. So love to see it, Layla Raven. Thank you for posting this. And if I ever have a long garland like that, or maybe I'll actually buy a long garland, because this is so, so cool. But anyways, so that's the one I wanted to finish off on, because it is a little bit different and like something kind of out of the box. So that was my wrap up of the 20 patterns that caught my eye when I was browsing of what Christmas decorations I could knit for this season. I understand that we're already like nearing the middle of November, so also acknowledging that we don't have too much time, but I think creating these decorations and working on these could really get you into the Christmas spirit. I myself am not really quite there yet in terms of it's almost Christmas, but I'm sure I'll get there once I cast one or two of these on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have a favorite pattern or if you liked any of these. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe, and take care. Bye.